When Khabib retired, I knew that I was going to miss making videos about him. But it looks like today I have another opportunity because he's in the fake news. A lot of people are calling Khabib the Karen of MMA. And I'm going to address this today. But let me keep my composure real quick while I take this off because I don't want to flip my wig. It all started with that Ross Stewart looking fool, Patty Pimblett, hereinafter referred to as Pee-Pee. Hey Pee-Pee, did you actually watch the podcast? Because Mike Tyson was about as eloquent as Brendan Schaub. It was almost as difficult to try to find out what he was talking about than to understand what you were saying. I would probably understand you better if Stipe Muchacho was translating for you. And when I finally understood what you were saying, it still didn't make any sense. Because why criticize Khabib for not wanting people to smoke around him? People are trying to make it about religion and culture and that supposedly he's self-righteous or whatever. Maybe he just doesn't like it, all right? It's just a preference. I'm always telling Marilena because that she likes to eat sushi. I'm like, hey, get it away from me. Go eat it in the garage because I don't like seafood. It stinks.
That's right, it stinks.
But I know what everybody's saying, all right? They're like, that's the name of the show. That's what the show's about. Khabib knew what he was getting into. But look, you're going over the little detail. Khabib worked it out before and he was like, look, I'll go on. It's cool. I'll enjoy it. Let's meet up, but don't do that, all right? Can you do that? And then that's the opportunity, right? That is the moment where Mike Tyson could say, nah, fool, you're crazy. And then Mike Tyson, himself, in regards to his own show, his own channel, his own podcast, that's when he could have said, you want to get down like that? Go talk to Joe Rogan or something. Oh no, that fool likes that too, huh? But anyway, that's the opportunity when Mike Tyson himself could have said, fool, you're crazy. This is how the show is. That's the name of the show. That's how I get down. That's the only way I can make it through the day. So are you going to do this or not? And Khabib said, Chale, I'm out. I'm going to go back and talk to Ronaldo. And then Mike Tyson says, all right, peace. But he didn't do that, did he? Mike Tyson said, all right, it's all good. Come on anyway. So everybody that's running their mouths right now thinking that they have to speak up on behalf of Mike Tyson, that fool didn't speak up on behalf of himself. All he said was, yeah, I want to meet you. Let's do this. He didn't say anything, so why should you be? If anything, and let me preface this first. Let me preface it by saying that this episode is sponsored by the Ridge Wallet and that I'm going to say more about that later. But then let me preface it by saying, look, I'm a Mike Tyson fan. I've been a fan. And look at how fat that is. You don't read that much if you're not a fan. And there's not even that many pictures. But if you're going to be mad at anybody, it should be Mike Tyson because that fool was deceptive. Mike Tyson agreed not to light up. He's like, we're going to have a clear, intellectual, articulate back and forth. It's going to be a good time. But then before the podcast, he decided to have himself a little party. And he stocked up for the winter. He knew that Khabib didn't want him partaking during the podcast. So Tyson decided to get all his boosters in before the podcast started. Mike Tyson was so terrible during the podcast that it actually made most of the viewers turn into Seguro fans. Hey, I've been a fan of Seguro. But most people are always clowning on him and hating on him or whatever. Go look at the comments. He's an overnight sensation. He's #1 trending on Cameo right now. If you're mad at Khabib right now, there's two things that you have to acknowledge, that you have to be able to respond to. The first one, watch the podcast and tell me if you think Mike Tyson did a good job and if he was a good host. Respond to that one. I'll wait. And the second one, the fact that Mike Tyson had the opportunity to say, Chale, fool, this is what the show is. This is what the show is called. This is the theme. Get out of here. We're not going to do it then. But he didn't do that. So who do you think you are now to be able to speak on his behalf? It's like when I did that one show, Hot Ones. If I would have went on there and told that fool Sean Evans, hey, instead of chicken, can we do it with like cheeseburgers? And he was like, nah, fool, that's not the show. Then I'd be like, all right, have a good day. Nice to meet you. Thanks for the invitation. And then we would have went our separate ways and it would have been all cool. Or Sean Evans could have been like, you know what, fool? That's all right. Let's mix it up a little bit. We'll have some cheeseburgers. Are you going to get mad at Sean Evans then? Well, hold up. I forgot where I was going with that. Like if Tai Tuivasa had a podcast and on the podcast, you're supposed to drink out of shoes, you know? And I was like, hey, Tai, I want to go on the podcast, but I'm not really down to do that, you know? Then it's his responsibility to be like, nah, I don't want to change the format. You got to do it or it's nothing. Or be like, all right, let's not do it on this one. I understand you're afraid of fungus and whatnot. Then that it all falls back on him, you know? Like if I had a podcast and it was called like The Rear Naked Truth, and then my guests, they have to come on and they have to tell the truth and they have to get naked. And then one of my guests was like, hey, I'm down to come on there and tell the truth, but I don't really want to get naked. Or maybe they want to get naked, but they don't want to be truthful. Then it falls on me to be like, hey, yes or no. And if I let something slide, if I'm like, hey, you don't have to get naked, and you don't even have to tell the truth, I just want to talk to you, then it falls on me. Don't get mad at my guests. You gotta have a conversation with me. So we should be talking to Mike Tyson right now. Like, hey, Mike, how do you feel about this? Mike, how do you feel about? Oh, you still haven't come back down yet? We'll try again later. Like, what's that one fool's name that makes the Teslas? That fool's always trying to send people to Mars. Mike Tyson's already there. If you watched the podcast with your own eyes and you saw how it went down, and if you acknowledge that Mike Tyson could have been like, Charlie, we're not going to do it like that, and it all falls back on him, then you have to understand that you have no logical reason to be upset with Khabib right now. But I see you, PP. I'm gazing. I see the hustle. Because I didn't even know who you were before you started talking about Khabib. But just like that, in an instant, just because one fool wanted to run his mouth, all the Khabib haters, all the Carter fanboys are calling Khabib the Karen of MMA. And at first they thought it was funny because it was like a meme or whatever. But now they're angry because they see Khabib as a threat to the ring card girls. Khabib stated in an interview that ring card girls are the most useless people in MMA. And although like 99.9% of the time I agree with Khabib, I have to disagree on this point. Because the most useless people in MMA are the interim champions. But the ring card girls are a close second. You might be surprised to hear me say that. You're probably thinking, Grandmaster, don't you like the ring card girls? Hey, I never even noticed they were there. And I like Khabib's point about it. Because people are like, hey, it's MMA history. We should never change it. And he's like, we learn about history so that we can change it. So that we don't repeat the same mistakes. If you guys are really worried about MMA history, then let's go back to the UFC 1 rules, all right? I'm down with that kind of history. MMA history. You need to be more worried about your browser history. Cochino. Mira, who's he talking about? The ring card who? The who? The ring card girls. And who's getting mad online? It's not the girls, it's the guys. Maybe the ring card girls are getting mad, but not the other girls. It's those dirty vatos that are getting mad. The girls don't care. Look at the people right here asking them the questions. The girls all smiles, and those fools are mad. Take a look on Twitter. Everybody that's causing a ruckus, it's all fools trying to white knight on there. It's not even the ladies. The reason this really blew up is because they created the narrative that, oh, Khabib said that women are useless. Charlie, he didn't say that. He said that the ring card girls are useless in MMA. If you really have a problem with what he's saying, then why don't we get some ring card boys, homie? Let's see if you like it that way. If you really need to see the rounds, let's get some ring card boys in there. Let's see how you like that one. Let's just talk about it like what it is, all right? Quit trying to virtue signal online just because you like to look at naked ladies. Trying to act like you're standing up for them or whatever. I'm surprised Twitter hasn't flagged you for false information yet. And I could understand what Khabib was talking about when he would be at the fights with his dad, sitting right there in the front, and the girls would be walking around all naked, trying to make him risk everything. I know how awkward it could be. When I was a little kid, my tío Beto made me watch American Pie with him. That supposedly he told my tia that I wanted to watch it, but that I wasn't old enough to get it from the Blockbuster. And then after we saw it, we couldn't talk for like 3 months. We would still watch it like every weekend, but we didn't say a word to each other. The objectification of these women can lead young men to do dangerous things. Somebody got so upset about what Khabib was saying that he tried to attack him. There's some young men out there with their credit cards and their internet attached to their mom. This is all they got. And when you threaten to take it away from them, they could do some crazy things. Let's get serious for a moment. John Wilkes Booth did what he did to Abraham Lincoln because he freed those slaves. And this fool was trying to do what he was trying to do to Khabib because he wants to free those ring card girls. Hey, look at me. Don't be on the wrong side of history. You need to learn that a lot of things are lost in translation when Khabib speaks in his native tongue. Here's what you didn't understand from that interview. The main reason why Khabib wants to get rid of the ring card girls, and the reason I agree, is because it will benefit the fighters. He's talking about fighter pay. You know why Jared Cannonier doesn't have any money? And that other girl that I can't remember her name? And Stipe Muchacho has to be a firefighter? Because the ring card girls are taking all the money. If you got rid of the ring card girls, then these fighters will be getting paid. And don't feel bad for the ring card girls. They can make even more money on Instagram. This is a broken model. It serves no purpose. You could put the round number on the screen. You could pay the fighters more. The ring card girls will make even more, make a better living. Everybody wins. Except you, David. I see you at home right now, watching Fight Pass with your mom's credit card. I see right through you, David. You like a show, huh? How about that Khabib show? Hey, David's mom! Hey, don't be like David. You need to get your own credit cards. And then you gotta keep them safe with the Ridge wallet. I know what you're thinking. If I get the Ridge wallet, will that prevent Dana White from taking all my money? No, but it will prevent other thieves from stealing your information. You see, the Ridge wallet is a RFID blocky wallet. So when fools come along with their little scanners or whatever, So when fools come up trying to scan your information like that and steal your identity, they're not gonna get through that great wall, homie. The durability of this wallet is astounding. It's almost as hard as Mike Tyson trying to make sense.
Yeah.
It's like,
if you ever decide to do something dumb with it, it even has a lifetime warranty. Look, it has little screws and stuff so they can work on it. They might not want to help you though if you do something dumb on purpose. It has to be something dumb like by accident. It has over 30,000 5-star reviews and it's in my front pocket on the daily. What else can I say? Besides that, if you want to get one of these, go to ridge.com/Voto and put in the promo code VOTO for 10% off. If you got nothing else going on today, I would appreciate it very much if you will watch. That's the wrong way. If you got nothing else going on today, I would appreciate it very much if you will scope out my last video. I'm trying to get it to 500,000 views by the end of today. So thank you for watching Mexican Martial Arts. Appreciate it. Good looking out. Like.